All right. What's up, guys? So, first of all, I don't know one's watching yet, but when you guys do come watch, I just want to say real quick thank you. This is obviously a preliminary trial, so it's a practice run, I guess you can say. So this one's just meant to be fun, open. I'm gonna be open to all kinds of judgment, whether it's positive or negative. I just want everyone to keep it clean. I want everyone to have fun because ultimately this is gonna be what I want to do in life, and I have fun doing it. So just enjoy. Ask m- Ask me any questions. If you see anyone in the chat, please don't throw any hate. Don't cuss. I'm trying to keep this clean, professional, and basically, as the title says, it's a live debate slash Q&A. So you have any questions about any sports, about any players, about any news, you know, and I'm here to answer it. I'm here to debate about it. I'm here to do all of that, you know. So let's just get to it and have fun. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I wanted to start with basketball because I've really got into basketball a lot. Um, and so basically, I guess I wanted to do a top 10 list. What do you think the Lakers record will be at the end of the season? Oh, okay. So, what do you think the Lakers record will be at the end of the season? So, let me just pull up the roster real quick. It's actually a really good question. So, the roster for the Los Angeles Lakers consists of Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, LeBron James, Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson, Kyle Kuzma, Luol Deng, JaVale McGee, Josh Hart, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Mo Wagner, Zvi Mikhailuk, Travis Ware, Ivica Zubac, and Michael Beasley. Those are the people who have guaranteed contracts, guaranteed money at the end of the season. So obviously, this team last season did not have a very good season. They went. Let me pull that up real quick. They did as expected. They weren't going to do all that much damage. They finished 34-47. They weren't going to do all that much damage. They didn't have enough star power or any of that. So LeBron easily gives this team 15 more games, at least 15 more games. So 35 and 15, that's 50. So right now we're at 50. Then you add seasoned veterans like Lance. You add seasoned veterans like Rajon Rondo and the Michael Beasleys of the world. And they can, if they do their job, if they play their role, if they don't draw too much attention away from the team, they can give you a good 6-7 games as well. And right there, we're at 56, 57 games. I don't think they're going to get 56, 57 games. I believe they're going to have 53 to 55 games, and they'll finish second or third in the West. Because ultimately, one, no one's beating the Warriors. Two, the Rockets fell off this season, losing Mbah a Moute and Trevor Ariza. And because the Thunder were able to keep Paul George there and get rid of Carmelo, who was doing serious damage to that team. His shot was not hitting. He's a defensive liability. How many take Lonzo to be an all-star? An all-star, I think it'll take about, I don't know, 3 or 4 seasons for him to get into it. He had a stellar rookie season. He had a stellar rookie season. A lot of people hate on him because of his shot. That he can't shoot, and his shot's funky, or whatever the case may be. Um, I don't I I don't hate on it. You know, I accept the fact that yes, his shot has not been hitting. He's not been a great free throw. He's not been a 3-point shooter. He's not been a great shooter overall. But take a look at his other stats. We have his rebounds. He averages 7 rebounds for a point guard. We have his assists. He averages 7 assists. He averages a steal, almost 2 a game. He averages nearly a block a game. He turns the ball over 2.6 times a game only, and he's averaging 10 points. 10 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals a game. Now, I know a lot of people have been doing this, and it's honestly something that I have bought into, me personally, is the comparison with some want to say GOAT. I wouldn't call him the GOAT, but he is indeed the best player in the world currently, LeBron James. Compare that to his rookie season, as we pull it up here. So we compare Lonzo's rookie season to LeBron's rookie season. LeBron averaged 20 points. LeBron has to average 20 points. He's a scorer. Lonzo's not a scorer. He's a facilitator. Turnovers, he averaged 3.5 turnovers. That's more turnovers than Lonzo averaged. Steals, he averaged 1.6. That's less than Lonzo. Blocks, 0.7, less than Lonzo. Assists, 5.9, less than Lonzo. Rebounds, 5.5, less than Lonzo. So Lonzo's a point guard averaging more stats than LeBron James. 3-point percentage, LeBron averaged 29%. Lonzo Ball averaged 30%. So, I understand that a lot of people hate on Lonzo because of his father. I totally get that. If I wasn't a Laker fan, trust me, it'd probably be the same case with me. But Lonzo Ball, overall play, is way better than most people give him credit for. All-Star, I think it'll be easier for him to become an All-Star, especially because of fan voting. Fans in LA love him. I think it'll take 2 to 3 years. If he plays his butt off, I think 2 years max, Lonzo becomes an All-Star. And you also have to take into account the fact that there's a lot of good point guards in the league, man, a lot. And besides the fact that there's a lot of good point guards in the league, there's a lot of good point guards in the West. Just to name a few, you have Chris Paul, you have Harden, whether you want to consider him a point guard or not. You have Damian Lillard, you have Rondo, his backup, or maybe the guy who's gonna start over him. You never know. You have no idea. You have Holiday. These are just a couple of guys in the NBA that you have that are point guards. And when you vote for All-Stars, you don't even take into account positions. You take into account a guard. So then not only do you have guys like Lillard in front of him, or guys like Holiday in front of him, or guys like Westbrook in front of him, you also have guys like Paul George in front of him. You have guys like Harden in front of him. You have guys like who else is in the West? You have guys like Parker when he was in his prime. He had guys like Tony Parker there. There's a lot of guys here in the West that can overtake Lonzo as an All-Star. So who will go to the finals this upcoming season? It's hard to tell because the Warriors are dominant. They added DeMarcus Cousins, and I commend them for it, because they built this team from scratch, They were nobodies. They had terrible records. They brought up Stephen Curry. They brought up Klay Thompson. They brought up Draymond Green. They drafted those guys when 30 other teams had the chance to draft those guys, okay? 30 other teams. Now, there's 29 actually, because the Warriors don't count. There's 29 other teams who had the chance to draft those guys, And let's just take a look at it. Stephen Curry in 2009, the 7th overall pick. The 6 people in front could have picked up the greatest shooter of all time. The greatest shooter of all time. The best. No one comes. It's not even a close second. No one comes close to Stephen Curry. And on top of that, the Minnesota. Don't even get me started on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn at the 5 and 6. They picked 2 point guards in front of him. All you had to do was at least pick one guy instead of. Oh, it's not even. It's ridiculous. Like it's really ridiculous. It's absurd to me that Stephen Curry really was not picked top 5, but a lot of it has to do with scouts. Scouts mess up people's visions of people. It's honestly, a scout, in my opinion, is very valuable. They're very, very valuable people. But it's annoying because you have guys like Steph Curry went 7th overall in the 2009 draft. A draft that was stacked with Blake Griffin and James Harden. Now, on top of that, you pick him 7th. And looking back, there's no problem because he was small, he wasn't strong, he didn't have a high vertical. All he was a shooter, a scorer. But people don't learn from their mistakes. Look at Trae Young. Trae Young is Steph Curry. He's not as athletic. He's not tall. He's not as strong. But he's literally a 3-point shooter and scorer. He's a good playmaker. I've seen his college clips. He's a good playmaker. He's a good passer. He has good vision. What is wrong with you people? If you couldn't see it the first time, Trae Young is the second coming. I'm not saying he's going to be Steph Curry. I'm not saying he's going to be the best. But Trae Young, in my opinion, should have went either top 1, 2, or 3. In my opinion, 1, 2, or 3. Him and Marvin Bagley are my 2 picks. You're hearing it from me. Are my 2 picks to be champions, all-stars, and Hall of Famers. Those are my 2 picks to be those 3 things. All-stars, champions, and Hall of Famers. Do you consider Steph Curry the best shooter? Of course you consider Steph Curry the best shooter of all time. There's no one else besides Steph Curry. You have Larry Bird, who, first of all, is more of a scorer than a shooter. He's a very overrated 3-point shooter because of his era where 3-pointers weren't really a norm and he was the best one to be shooting them and making them, but that's a whole nother story. Then you have Ray Allen, who is a very good 3-point shooter, but that's what he was known for towards the latter of his career. The beginning of his career, he was in a dunk contest, man. Most people don't know that. I didn't know that. He was in a dunk contest. So he wasn't really always known for his 3-point shooting. And then you have Reggie Miller, who was, in my opinion, he's a very underrated shooter. I think he's a great shooter, but he's very underrated. If you put him on an all-time scoring list, I don't underrate him at all. And, there's a lot of clips, where against the Knicks in I believe it's the conference semifinals, he scores 7 points in about, I don't remember, like 7 seconds or something like that. It's amazing, to have the calmness and the cold nerves and all of that, just to be able to do all of that. It's really, really crazy, When will Russell Westbrook win his first championship? Okay. He's not going to. Simple. Russell Westbrook is not going to win a championship. Russell Westbrook had 2 chances to win championships. 2. And I'm going to name them both to you. In 2012, this one, first of all, I have nothing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are an amazing organization. They are an amazing team. They had amazing talent. You had Russell Westbrook. You had Kevin Durant. You had James Harden. You had Serge Ibaka. You had Thabo Cephalosha. You had Kendrick Perkins. You had the list goes on. But you had a baby Russell Westbrook. You had a baby Kevin Durant. And you had a baby James Harden. Who, first of all, most people believe they shouldn't have even got past the Spurs that year. I, for one, am not one of those people. I believe the Thunder 100% deserved that finals appearance. So that's his first chance. They get beaten 5 by the best player in the world. Still currently the best player in the world. And in 2014, this will forever bite me. Forever will this bite me, personally, as a basketball fan. You have what turned out to be the NBA champion of that year down 3-1. 3-1. It's amazing to me. 3-1 you had the Warriors down. You had the psychological game over them. You had the actual advantage over them. You still had one more game at home over them, and you could not finish it out or get the job done. Russell Westbrook is not going to win a championship. I'm sorry. I really like Russ. He's amazing. He's a monster. He's strong, athletic. He's a little LeBron. He can't shoot threes. He's impossible to play with. And he just jacks up shots. He's a shot taker. And I respect Russ. I do. But there's no way in hell he's going to win a championship. And I'm sorry to say it. And I really am sorry to say it because I love Oklahoma City. And I love what he's done for the franchise. And I love that he stayed there. And I love that he wants to win. And I love that he plays every game like it's his last. But Russell Westbrook will not win a championship. Maybe not with the Oklahoma City Thunder. If he were to go somewhere else and they were to build a team, or he was to be built around someone, or they were to build someone around him, maybe that's different. But with Oklahoma City, he's not going to win a championship. I'm sorry. Will LeBron win a championship with the Lakers? That's tough. It really is tough because they're missing something. They really are. They needed Paul George or they needed Kawhi Leonard. Simple as that. They needed Kawhi Leonard or they needed Paul George for them to be contenders this year. A lot of people are saying, well, LeBron came to LA, he's going to Hollywood, he's coming for the publicity and I don't know what, and he's going to take a year off. No, he's not. He's not going to waste a year of his prime doing what others think he's going to be doing. He came to win. Although he didn't state it like he did in Miami and like he didn't when he went back to Cleveland, or the first time he was in Cleveland, although he didn't state it, he doesn't have to state it. NBA players, at the end of the day, they want to win. And LeBron is still, in my opinion, chasing Jordan's legacy. That's all it is. LeBron James is not at the level to be called the GOAT. His finals record doesn't allow it. He needs one championship with this team or 2 championships overall with the Lakers to be considered the greatest of all time from my perspective. He trails Jordan by 3 championships. He trails him in finals losses. He has 6. He's played his whole career in the West. He's about to start his first season in the West. And to top it off, he decided to come at the hierarchy, at the pinnacle of the Warriors. Like, come on, man. The Warriors have one year left where they can win a championship. After that, I call it implodes. Durant pulls another snake move. He leaves. DeMarcus stays. Clay doesn't want to be here no more. He's not the focal point anymore. Draymond wants max money. Curry's stuck here. Curry wants to trade. All these things happen. And what I honestly think is going to happen is Klay Thompson's going to get bored of being on the Warriors because at the end of the day, he's a 2-time champion, yes, but he doesn't want to be behind Durant. and behind Curry and behind DeMarcus and behind Dre. He doesn't want to be. Why would you want to be behind those guys, man? Klay Thompson's the best shooting guard after James Harden, the second best shooting guard in the league, and he's behind DeMarcus Cousins, Curry, and Durant. And sometimes people even put him behind Draymond. What is that? Give the man some respect. The Warriors are going to implode in a year or two, and LeBron will have his chance to win championships with the Lakers. I believe if he wins them, he only wins one. I'm hopeful for two as a Laker fan, but LeBron is only going to get one championship with a Laker. At best. At best. Are you mad at the Lakers? No. The question is, are you mad that the Lakers didn't acquire Kawhi Leonard? I'm not mad. No. I'm thankful for the Spurs. If the Spurs organization or anyone in the Spurs organization somehow miraculously sees this video, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. You guys just gifted us Kawhi Leonard. A year later, but you just gifted him to us. You sent him to the most remote place in the NBA, the only team in Canada. No one wants to play in Canada. DeMar DeRozan only wants to play there because he has some loyalty towards Canada. They drafted him. They fought for him. Look how that turned out, buddy. Kawhi Leonard comes to the Lakers in 2019. He teams up with LeBron, and they win a championship next year. That is the simplest thing that's going to happen. And if he doesn't come to the Lakers, he's going to the Clippers. And if he goes to the Clippers, it's really, really a bad decision because LeBron's across town, and the Warriors in 1 year are going to implode, but they're still going to be together. So then you're behind the Lakers and the Warriors, and the Rockets are still going to be there because they just offered Chris Paul a max, which they shouldn't have done. He's old. He's going to be 38 when it expires. Hello. No one's going to take on that contract when he gets old, so you're not going to trade him. Hello. But they're still going to have the Rockets next season, and the Thunder are still going to be there next season, and the Pelicans are coming up with Julius Randle and Jahlil Okafor and the big man Anthony Davis, who, in my opinion, is going to be the best player in the world next season. And then you still have up-and-comers like the Jazz and the Nuggets, who are looking really, really good. That's my sleeper in the playoffs, by the way, guys. Hint, hint. The Nuggets are going to get the 6th seed or the 5th seed. I'm even pulling for them to get the 4th seed. But Kawhi Leonard is coming to the Lakers. I'm not mad he wasn't acquired this season. I'm just happy he's not with the Spurs anymore because they were making it very difficult for him to come to LA at all, whether it be Clippers or Lakers. Do you think it was the right move for PG to stay with the... Okay. We can't judge PG. We can't. Because at the end of the day, you have to think about where you're playing, which, first of all, he's playing in OKC, which is a desert, and it's like quiet, and there's nothing to do there compared to LA. So right now we have 1 point LA, 0 points OKC, right? Then you got to see where you're playing. You got to see how much money you're going to make. Well, OKC wins that one 1-1. They got to pay him more money. If he would have left, I think, $30 million on the table. Then you got to think of your family. His family wanted him to come to LA. Point. No, it's not a point. Because his family is going to support him no matter what. And what he wanted was to stay in OKC. So point OKC. And then, where is he going to get the most productivity? If he would have came to LA, you see we have Stevenson now. We have Beasley now. There's Lonzo there. There's Kuzma there. There's Ingram there. There's LeBron there. I'm going to say he would have been second option, but then they would have got PG, then they would have went after Kawhi, and then he would have been third option, and he's not a third option. He's a second option. So 3-1 OKC. The move for Paul George to stay in OKC was right for Paul George. It was not right for him wanting to win a championship, but him spiritually, emotionally, money-wise, taking care of his family, It was the perfect move for Paul George. I commend him because he earns every single penny that he is going to earn and that he's going to receive off that contract. But in the end, at the end of the day, Paul George did what Paul George wanted to do. What he wanted to do was stay in OKC and prove that he can win a championship there. Will Vince Carter retire with a ring or no? Oh Vince, oh Vince, oh Vince. Just come to the Warriors, man. Just do it. Honestly, he could have done it last year and he would have been a champion already and he would have retired. Vince Carter is one stubborn SOB. He really is. Because he played with Dallas when they were not good anymore. He played for Memphis. Why would you play for Memphis? He played for the Kings. They had nobody. And now you're going to Atlanta, where your best player is probably going to be Trae Young, a rookie. It's really sad because Vince Carter is one hell of a player. He really is. And he deserves to retire with one championship at least. And he's not going to, and that's sad. It really is sad. He should have went to the Warriors for a veteran minimum, $1 million, $2 million. He would have won championship. He can still produce, so he would have produced off the bench, and he would have won a championship, and he would be able to say, I retired a champion. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody is going to deny you that championship because of the team you're playing on. I wouldn't. Because it's Vince Carter. I wouldn't do it. How many guys haven't tried to do this already? Karl Malone tried to do it on the Lakers. It didn't work out for him. So did Gary Payton. It didn't work out for him there. But he went to Miami and it sure did work out for him. I can tell you that for sure. It's just whatever makes a player happy. And going to the Warriors just doesn't make Vince happy, or else he would have been there already. And it's a really sad, harsh reality that he won't win a championship before he retires. Do you believe in the rumors? No. That's a question I'm not going to talk about. I'm shutting that down. Kobe's not coming back to play with LeBron. He's happy. He's happy with his family. He hasn't. How many times have you seen Kobe Bryant come out and say he wants to return and play basketball again? I haven't heard him say it once. He's happy where he's at. You can't have that Kobe farewell or whatever the hell it was. Have him score 60 in his final game. And then at the beginning of the season, LeBron comes in. Oh, Kobe wants to come back. No, that kills the whole retirement thing. And honestly, I would not respect Kobe as much if he came back. Because you had everyone fooled. You retired. You scored 60 in your last game. You had a Kobe farewell tour where everyone was like hugging and kissing you. And then you want to come back just because LeBron came back? No. I'm a Kobe fan. I'm a Laker fan. But I'm also a realist. And that is really, really messed up. Do you think Durant will go back to OKC? No. No, Durant won't go back to OKC. Durant will not go back to OKC. Durant will go, if it happens. This is a big if. If it happens, he will go back to Seattle. Seattle is going to make another team. I think he owes more to the city of Seattle than he does to the city of Oklahoma. Because he left, and it's not his fault. It's really not his fault at all. But he left Seattle, and he went to OKC. He gave everything he could to OKC. He gave them a finals appearance. He gave them numerous game winners. He gave them everything, man. And I respect the OKC fans. They were one of the loudest buildings in the whole NBA. But they don't deserve Durant no more. He left and they burned his jersey and they called him a snake and they did this and that and they did, no. He owes more to the city of Seattle than he does to the city of Oklahoma. Case in point. There's no other way to go about it. What he did was wrong in, doing that to Oklahoma. Yeah, it's wrong. It's sad. But he doesn't owe them anything. Because if he did, he wouldn't have left. Simple. He would have stayed there. And he would have tried to win a championship with them. And that's not what happened. It's not what occurred. Will the Brow get a ring? He deserves one. I can tell you that. Anthony Davis is going to be the best player in the world next season. At the end of this season, when the playoffs come around, it's going to be evident that LeBron James is declining. Not rapidly, not like dropping from like a 25 point per game player to like 15 points per game. No, maybe like a 25 points dropping to like 22 points maybe. But Anthony Davis is going to be the best player in the league. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Now, will he win the ring in New Orleans? No, he won't. He doesn't have a good enough team surrounded by him to win it. Now, he has a good team to make the playoffs and contend, but not win. Anthony Davis, Julius Randle, Nikola Mirotic, Jahlil Okafor, Quincy Pondexter, Drew Holiday. That team is not going to beat the Warriors. That team will barely give the Lakers a fight. That team won't even beat the Jazz, in my opinion. That team won't beat the Jazz. They beat the Blazers because they don't have a big man. Anthony Davis outplayed 100% the Blazers and their big men. 100% he outplayed them. But he needs a team he should go to Boston. They should trade. Boston should trade. They should trade Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and a couple of draft picks for Anthony Davis. Or even Al Horford, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and some draft picks. And then get back Quincy Pondexter, or Nikola Mirotic, or Jahlil Okafor, whatever you want to do. Because in the end, if that trade happens, you have Anthony Davis at the 5. You have at the 1, Kyrie. At the 2, Tatum. At the 3, Hayward. And then at the 4, Mirotic. If the trade gets pulled off, you can put Mirotic in there. Or Baines in there. Or Marcus Morris in there. Or Markieff, I should say, I think. I think it's Markieff. No, Marcus. Marcus plays for Boston, right? Yeah, Marcus. That's a starting 5 that's very, very solid. And that's a starting 5 that, 1, is going to take over the East, say goodbye the process, and 2, it will put up a hell of a fight against the Warriors. You think it was a weak move for Boogie? There's a lot of speculation there, honestly. Boogie, apparently Boogie didn't get any boo-hoo Crimea River. He didn't get any contract offers. I call complete BS. Because the Pelicans offered him $20 million and he didn't want to take it. But the Warriors offer him $2 million and he'll take it like nothing. Right? Am I right? He's not going to be the same guy he was. No one ever is. This injury that Boogie had ended Kobe Bryant's career, I'm telling you. It ended his career. Year 17, he was going to win a scoring title. He was top 5 in the MVP. Kobe Bryant's career got ended by that Achilles injury. After that Achilles injury, anything that happened after that, I tried to take that out of my mind, except for that 60-point game. But after that, anything that happened to Kobe Bryant is just sad, and it makes me want to cry. Boogie Cousins, if he's 80% of what he was before this injury, the Warriors will win a championship. But if he's anything less than 70%, goodbye Boogie Cousins. No one will offer you any money anymore. You're not going to be entitled to being on any good teams anymore. You'll probably win a championship and that's it. But you will not be in the consideration for the best center in the league, which, by the way, as of right now, is Joel Embiid. Will there be another Kobe Bryant? No. There wasn't even another Michael Jordan. Kobe's not Jordan. He's not. And Simmons isn't LeBron. There's never the same player twice. Now, will people emulate Kobe? I think Tatum emulates Kobe. I do. I thought Wiggins was going to emulate Kobe. It didn't turn out to be that way. He had the athleticism. If he would have put in the work, I think he could have developed a great jump shot. I think he could have developed a great mid-range, a great post game, but it didn't turn out that way. Tatum is going out of his way to work with Kobe. What does that tell you about that boy? Tatum is going to emulate Kobe. He's going to copy his moves. He's going to do what Kobe did and copy Jordan's moves. And that's okay because they're not stamped Jordan's moves. They're not stamped Jordan's moves. You can't use them. No. Kobe Bryant showed Jason Tatum the keys. He gave him the keys. He said, here are the keys, man. Take them. Drive. Take me where I want to go. And Jason Tatum is he's a monster, man. How many points will Tatum score? 20. Tatum's going to average 20 points a game. It's no doubt about it. Let me tell you something about that Tatum thing, man. Tatum has Kyrie Irving coming back. Tatum has Gordon Hayward coming back. Tatum has Jaylen Brown there. Tatum has Al Horford there. The scoring load has to go everywhere, man. Everywhere. Let's just go from the top. Who's the best scorer? Kyrie. Kyrie's going to get his 22 a game, 23 a game, 24 a game, 22 to 25 a game. Who's the second best scorer? Hayward. Hayward's the second best scorer. Hayward's going to get you, I don't know, 20 a game, 22 a game at best. And then you have Horford, who's still going to get you 15 or 14 a game or 12 a game. And then you still have Jaylen Brown, who's going to score 10, 12 a game. And Marcus Smart, who's going to score 10, 12 a game. And Scary Terry, who's going to score 12, 10, 15 a game. And then you have Tatum still. And I'm not saying that Rozier or Smart or Brown are better scorers than Tatum, because they're not. But you have to take into account that they're going to take away points from Tatum. And Tatum at best scores 20. In my opinion, he scores 20. Nothing higher, nothing lower. Maybe like 19. That's lower, yeah, but it's not considerably lower. If everything goes well, Tatum scores 22 a game. At best. 20 a game is realistic. 19 is if they take points from him. How many years will it take for Tatum to become an all-star? Tatum becomes an all-star this year or next year. Because LeBron left the East. And the East isn't as stacked as it was anymore. You have... Here are your starters for the all-star game coming up. Kyrie Irving. There's no more DeMar DeRozan. So it'll be Bradley Beal. Or, no, it won't be Bradley Beal. It'll be Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kawhi Leonard, and Joel Embiid. Those are your starting 5 Eastern Conference All-Stars this year. Then, on the bench, you have John Wall. You have Bradley Beal, obviously. You have Kyle Lowry. You have Jason Tatum. You have, who else is out there? You have Brook Lopez, maybe, because he moved out east, and there's not a lot of centers out east. You have Blake Griffin, maybe. You have Andre Drummond, maybe. So it might be this year, or it might be next year, because again, his teammates are taking spotlight away from him, which takes away from the fact of how good he's doing. So if it's not this year, it's next year, without a doubt. Should the Greek Freak go to another team to win a championship? No, he doesn't have to. I think if I don't think the management is competent enough to put the team around him. I think he can win it. there. I do. Now that LeBron left the East, I think he can reign supreme as the best player, but they need to build the team around him. They need to know who to put around him. I think they haven't done that up to this point, and I think they're not going to do that at all up to the point to where his contract expires. He needs to be on a better team. He's not going to win in the West. I can tell you 100% because the Warriors are there and LeBron's there, but he's not going to win on Milwaukee either. He's just not. It's very sad for me to tell you because I really like the Greek Freak and I like what he resembles, but he's not going to win in Milwaukee with the team that is assembled right now. They assemble a better team around him, maybe, but it's not. He's not going to win with Milwaukee right now. Oh, damn, we had more people join. Who's the most loyal player in the NBA? The most loyal player right now or of all time? Because if it's right now, there's a couple in mind, but if it's all time, there's only like maybe 2 or 3 in mind for me. Or 4. Yeah, there might be a couple. There's a couple in mind. Both. The most loyal of all time are Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, and John Stockton. Never left their team. They never left their team. They never gave up on their team. They never asked for a trade. They were drafted into their teams and they never gave up. And what happened? Stockton, unfortunately, he didn't win the championship. He didn't. It's just sad to say. Duncan ended up winning 5. He got lucky. He had Pop. He had Robinson. He had Manu. He had Tony. He had Kawhi. You know, he had all these people around him. He had Steve Kerr there. He had Boris Diaw there. I think he ended up having Robert Horry there, you know. The Spurs are a competent organization, and they knew what to put around Tim Duncan. And then there's the opposite with Dirk. They didn't know what to put around him. They couldn't finish the team. And then it just clicked in 2012, and I believe 2011, I should say, and they ended up beating the Miami Heat. It was really a Cinderella story, but whether they're loyal or not, I think they're all-time greats no matter what. And right now, honestly, it's Russ. Russ is the most loyal in the NBA right now. He's in a terrible market. He has not asked for a trade. He had a chance to leave, and he's, gonna stay. Ultimately, he might finish his career there, which I don't think he should, but he's going to. And anyone else who you can think of left or is going to leave. Anthony Davis hasn't left. He's going to leave. DeMarcus got traded, and then he left where he is. Kyrie left. LeBron left. Durant left. Curry's there. He's loyal, yeah. But like I said, the Warriors are going to implode. They're going to leave. Thompson, he's going to leave. Draymond wants max contract, and if he doesn't get it, he's going to leave. No, there's no one as loyal as Russell Westbrook in my eyes. What do the Lakers need? By the way, guys, it doesn't just have to be basketball. If you want to throw any other sport out there, I am very open. What do you think the Lakers need to do / have to be serious threat to the Warriors? I think they need to add one more player. One more all-star, one more superstar. No, they need to add one more all-star. No, one more superstar, excuse me. If they're going to add an all-star, they need 2 more all-stars. But if they're going to add a superstar, they just need 1. Whether it be Kawhi Leonard or they trade for Klay Thompson or anything like that. But I also think they need great improvement from Lonzo, Ingram, and Kuzma. If you don't, and Josh Hart, which I've seen a little bit of in Summer League, but most importantly, Lonzo, Ingram, and Kuzma. And most importantly for me, Ingram. Because Ingram is the guy who's going to be the superstar / all-star. He has superstar peak or superstar ceiling and all-star floor for me. He has to keep getting better. He's gotten better every year so far, and he just has to keep getting better. He has to. Where would you rank the Lakers in the West right now? I'm going to skip that one because we've been talking Lakers for a bit. But, I'm not going to skip it. I'll just go over it real quick. Lakers are gonna end up second or third. The worst thing they end up is fourth. The best thing they end up is second. How big of an impact will LeBron have on the Lakers? Again, I talked about that a little bit, so I'm gonna skip over it, or not skip over it, but glance over it. LeBron easily adds 15 wins to the team. They're gonna be in the playoffs, and just having him on the team really brings up the spirits, brings up the motivation, brings up the ante, brings the fans out. You know, as you see, a lot of bandwagoners have been coming out, and I don't have a problem with it because that's what LeBron does. It's a superstar, you know, and that's what we want. We want superstars. What are your opinions on the Raiders? The Raiders? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Okay, let me check out this Raiders roster real quick. Before I even check out the roster, pay Khalil Mack. Pay that brother already, bro. Like, it's laughable. You guys don't have a good team. You guys don't have a good defense. Keep Khalil Mack, for God's sakes. Keep him. Pay him. Who cares? If you don't pay him, your defense is completely crap. Honestly. God, man. Okay, now aside from that, you picked up Jordy Nelson. You have Derek Carr. You have Khalil Mack. You have Marshawn Lynch. You took Martavis Bryant. You still have Amari Cooper. You have Ryan Switzer. You have a good team. I don't know, bro. I like Derek Carr. I personally like Derek Carr. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks. A personal favorite quarterback. He's my personal top 5 quarterback. Personal, like I like him. Like just because. I can't explain it. I don't know why. I just like him. But you also have the Broncos, which aren't going to do anything. The Chargers, who are looking to do stuff. And the Chiefs. First of all, you have to beat the Broncos in both your games, considering you play them both times. When you play the Chiefs, if you play them twice, you got to split it 1-1. And you got to beat them, hopefully, at home. You cannot give up your home court. Home field, I should say. And when you play the Chargers, again, you got to split it 1-1 or win it 2-0. These divisional games are really, really pivotal, man. Like, I don't think people realize how pivotal they are. They're probably the most important games of anyone's schedule, whether the team is good or not. Derek Carr is not going to have a great season. He's going to have a mediocre season. Marshawn Lynch is not who he used to be, so he's not going to have a great season. Hopefully, with all this receiving core around Derek Carr, though, you guys make the playoffs. The Raiders make the playoffs. 12-4, 13-3. The best thing you guys do is 13-3. The worst you guys do is, I don't know, 8-8. No, 9-7. I think is the worst you guys can do. But I put them at 11-5. Honestly, I put them in a wild card game, and what happens from there is beyond me, man. Who's the best team in the NFL right now? Best team in the NFL. It's are you on? Okay. I really hate to say this. I don't know if you're watching, Eddie. I'm sorry if you're watching, but it's the Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFL. They really are. I'm sorry to say it, but they are. And let's take a look at their division. Because first of all, they're the best in their division, no question. The Cowboys, the Giants, the Eagles, and the Redskins. There's only one good team besides the Eagles in there, and it's the Cowboys. Going off of last year's schedules and last year's records. There's only one team good in that division, and it's the Cowboys. The Giants got better, yeah. The Redskins got better, yes, they did. But no one's better than the Eagles in that division. Then you look at the NFC as a whole. You have the Saints, that's 1. You have the Vikings, that's 2. You have, let's just put the teams that were in the playoffs last year. Last year in the playoffs, you had the Eagles and the Vikings playing at the NFC Championship. Then you had the Rams and the Falcons. Then you had the Panthers and the Saints. Then from there, that was it. Then you had the Eagles, you had the Vikings, and that was it. That's 6 teams, I believe. I counted. I may have counted wrong. They're better than the Saints. They're better than the Panthers. They're better than the Vikings. They're obviously better than the Rams. They might not be better than the Rams, actually. I think the Rams might give them the most competition with the pickups they've got this year. But that's not the question. The question is who's the best? And it's the Eagles. They re-signed their coach. They got their star quarterback back. I can't seem to express this enough. They got their starting quarterback back. How many times have you said that in the past with the Super Bowl championship winning team? They got better because their quarterback is coming back. It's beyond me, bro. It really is. So how big, blah, blah, blah. Ronaldo's departure affect Real Madrid from the team season? Real Madrid, okay, so we're going over from football to soccer, in case you guys don't know. By the way, guys, we're coming up on 6 o'clock. I really appreciate the support. Quick question. I don't know if you guys want me to continue past 6. I can hit 6:30 maybe. Or, yeah, 6:30 if you guys want me to keep going. If not, we can just end it at 6 and I can start going faster over the questions if you guys want. Let me know. So, Ronaldo's departure from Real Madrid. It's hard to talk about a player's departure because it's Ronaldo, first of all. So it's like, first of all, it's a really good player. We got to talk about that. Second of all, he's the best. I've called him the best scorer of all time. No one's a better scorer than Ronaldo. So it hurts them considerably. Yeah, it hurts them considerably. But they're not going to be a bad team. They're not. Because they have the same team, man. They have the same players. Go check by check. Let's look at the players who played in the final last year. Sorry guys if we're taking a little long to look this up. Internet is kind of slow at the moment. Scrolling, background, round to the final, ticketing, ceremony. Okay. Sorry guys. So let's look at the team then. Navas is still there, check. Carvajal is still there, check. Varane is still there, and by the way, he got better. He won the World Cup, for crying out loud. He's still there, check. Ramos, he's still the best defender in the world, in my opinion. In 2 more years, he's not going to have that anymore, maybe even 1 more year, and in my opinion, it's going to be Varane next, or Umtiti next, for all I know. Ramos, check. Marcelo, he's still there, check. Kroos, he's still there, check. Casemiro, he's still there, check. Modric, he's been in talks with Inter, but is he still there still? As of right now, yes, check. Isco, he's still there, check. Benzema, he's still there, check. If we look at the bench, Lucas Vázquez, is he still there, check. Marco Asensio, is he still there, check. Gareth Bale, is he still there, check. Theo Hernandez got shipped out, but there's Reguilón now there. Nacho, is he still there, check. Garcia wants to leave, but we got Courtois. Who cares, check. The only thing that's not there is Cristiano Ronaldo, and we picked up Vinicius, which he's not better than Ronaldo. He's not even close to being at Ronaldo's level. He's not even close to being at a crack level, but he's going to fill the role of the wing because Ronaldo used to be a winger, and then he drifted into a striker, and I always loved Ronaldo as a winger more than I did as a striker, and Vinicius is a winger, and he can skill, and he can pass, and he can shoot, and he has vision, and he just has everything, man. So, yes, Real Madrid are going to be severely damaged by this, but they're going to get past it. And all they need is one player to be not replaced, but hold that spot. Hazard can hold it, or Neymar can hold it, or Mbappe can hold it. And I'm not saying that they're going to buy these players, but I'm just saying people who can hold the position. Hazard can hold it, Neymar can hold it, Mbappe can hold it. Rodrigo can probably hold it if they brought Rodrigo. I heard they're in talks for him. It's just about holding the space and not leaving that empty part of the field, man. Are the Browns a better team this year than last year? And how much are they better now that they have more vets on their team? This is a question I love to talk about, man. I love talking about this question, man. The Cleveland Browns are going to the playoffs, man. That I know. I'm kind of hyped about it. They're currently winning 13-10. It's preseason, but they're currently winning 13-10 against the New York Giants, who I thought were going to be better than them. We're looking at their roster real quick, boys. They picked up Baker Mayfield off the draft. My favorite draft prospect, aside from Saquon Barkley and Lamar Jackson. They picked up Josh Gordon back. They have Jarvis Landry now. They have Tyrod Taylor. They brought Carlos Hyde. Like, come on, bro. Their O-line isn't bad. Their D-line might be a little bit bad in all seriousness. But the Browns, in my opinion, are 10-6 this season. If they're 10-6, first of all, they've had losing season after losing season after losing season after losing. You know, it just keeps going, you know? And their experiments didn't work. RG3 didn't work. Manziel didn't work. And a lot of people are saying Baker is just a new Manziel. And I don't believe that. I honestly don't. Baker is not going to be the best quarterback in the draft. He's not. The best quarterback in the draft is going to be Lamar Jackson. Ultimately, but it's going to be Lamar Jackson. The Browns are going to go 10-6. If they don't go 10-6, they're going 9-7. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think 10-6 is good enough to make the playoffs. They're in the AFC North, which, by the way, is like a really tough division, considering that they have the Falcons. The Bengals aren't that good, and the best team in the AFC, the Steelers. They're not gonna make the playoffs. It would be I'll be the first one. If the Browns make the playoffs, I'll buy a Browns jersey. Simple. But they're not gonna make the playoffs. I don't think they are. I think they're going to be better than they should be. I don't think a lot of people give them credit for how good they're going to be, but they're going to be really good, man. That's a good question. Opinion on the Cowboys? The Cowboys? We're talking about the Cowboys? Not even a Cowboy fan, and you asked about the Cowboys. Okay. Let's first look at their roster real quick, because we know their division. The Eagles, Redskins, Giants. At the quarterback, we have Dak Prescott. In the backfield, we have Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke is running for 2,000 yards this season. You heard it from me, man. Why? And I'll explain that in a bit. I will explain that in a bit. You still have DeMarcus Lawrence. You still have Cole Beasley. You still have Zach Martin. And what really you should really be happy about is that you have DeMarcus Lawrence. And by God, you still have Sean Lee. And by God, that defense is going to surprise so many people, man. It really is. And I'm a Saints fan, in case you guys didn't know. They are going to put up probably the best game of the season. The Saints and the Cowboys, I'm calling it here, is going to be the best game of the season for both those teams' schedule. because the Cowboys have the underrated defense. Very underrated defense. And Dak is very underrated too. A lot of people put Dak as not even good because they have Zeke. And I understand that. Because what kind of skill do you need to give a guy a ball, right? Like, just hand it to him. But the throwing game opens up the run. I mean, the run game opens up the throw game. And once the throw game is open, you still have to make that throw, man. I don't know. Cowboys are going to be really good. Defensively, at least. Zeke is running for 2,000 yards. He needs to stay out of trouble, though. Bottom line, he needs to stay out of trouble. If Zeke doesn't stay out of trouble, the Cowboys are not going anywhere. The Cowboys are going to the NFC wild card. They're going to go to the next round. And if they're feeling themselves, they will go to the NFC Championship. But they aren't going to beat the Eagles. I'm sorry. As of now, at least, they're not beating the Eagles. Come back to me in week 7. We'll talk about it again, and I'll tell you if they beat the Eagles. But right now, they're not beating the Eagles. And right now, the record is looking 12-4 to me. 12-4. What are other teams that will have a better season this year, a bounce back year? It's weird for me to say it, bro, but the Rams are going to have a bounce back year. They are. And the Rams are, honestly, in my opinion, going to the Super Bowl. Let's pull up the Rams. Let's not even pull up their roster. Let's pull up their acquisitions. We're not pulling up the Rams roster. We're pulling up their acquisitions. I'm going to go back to May, June, July. We'll go to July, actually. Ready? We're in July for the Los Angeles Rams. July 17, they signed wide receiver Brandon Cooks' 5-year contract extension. July 24th, they signed defensive end Ryan Davis, wide receiver Aaron Lacombe, wide receiver Kadero Hodge, and wide receiver JoJo Natson. They waived wide receivers Ricky Janu, LeQuentin Gonzalez, and placed defensive lineman Dominique Easley and offensive linebacker Agbanata Okabaronku on physically unable list. They signed Todd Gurley to a 4-year extension. They activated LaMarcus. No. They picked up Ndamukong Suh. These guys picked up Ndamukong Suh. Do you realize how dangerous that is? You guys don't realize how dangerous that is for this already good Rams team. For them to pick up Ndamukong Suh? It's amazing, man. They're gonna win their division. No question about it. And if they do how they're expected to be, they're going to the Super Bowl, man. And that's gonna be one hell of an NFC championship game against what could be the Saints, what could be the Falcons. Realistically, what could be the Saints, what could be the Falcons, what could be the Eagles, what could be the Vikings, what could be the Cowboys. That's 5 teams I just gave you, plus the Rams. And I'm not even talking about the Panthers yet. Who's the most underrated team in the NFL? Most underrated? I think right now the Saints and the Vikings are pretty underrated. I also give the Patriots underrated. Here's the thing about the Patriots being underrated. They're the Patriots, so they can't be underrated. Just by name, they can't be underrated. But if we look at them as a regular football team, they're very underrated to me. They're one of the most underrated teams in all the NFL right now. I'll be back, guys. I'm put my laptop to charge real quick. Sorry, guys. A little bit of technical difficulties. Laptop was losing some charge. We got it back. As I was saying, the Patriots are one of the most underrated teams for me in the NFL. They're gonna go 11 and 5, and 11 and 5. They're gonna make the playoffs. They're not gonna be a better team than they were last year, and they're not going to the Super Bowl. I can guarantee you those two things. They're not gonna be a better team. They're not going to the Super Bowl. Three things actually, because they are gonna go 11 and 5. But they're very underrated, and the reason why people won't underrate them actually is because they're the Patriots. You can't underrate the Patriots, or so people will tell you. But I would put them as underrated. Which sport is more exciting to watch? The most exciting sport to watch? I think you can't really place. I don't think you can really. That's a good question, though. I like that question. That is a good question, but I don't think you can really say that one sport is more exciting to watch than the other, because it's all about perception and it's all about what you like. Some people like soccer, some people like football, some people like basketball, some people like baseball. I personally don't like watching baseball on TV unless it's playoffs. It's a personal thing. So there off the bat, if you like baseball, then I would tell you that it's not a exciting sport to watch, which it really is, but for me only in the playoffs. Do NFL teams need a number one receiver, and why is Dez still a free agent? Dez is still a free agent because he chooses to be a free agent. He can easily be signed to the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Ravens or even the Browns, and all three of those teams could use him. A number one receiver is your go-to, and it helps a lot. Because depending on the situation, a number one receiver can open up your number two or your slot receiver. Julio Jones opens up for let me look at their roster real quick. Sorry. Julio Jones opens up for Devontae Freeman in the backfield. He also opens up for Mohamed Sanu, and they picked up Calvin Ridley, so he's now going to open up space for Calvin Ridley as well. Then you go to a team like the Steelers. The Steelers have Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown opens up space for Juju Smith, and they open up space for Le'Veon. So a number one is really important. It's not like the worst thing in the world if you don't have a number one, or like if your number one is being split between two people, but you need a number one. Like, you have to have a number one. Will Bell leave the Steelers after this season? He has to. He has to. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have disrespected Le'Veon Bell as a football player. Because why is Todd Gurley getting paid and he's not? Le'Veon Bell deserves to be paid. Le'Veon Bell deserves guaranteed money. And the fact that they franchise tagged him, like, I understand from a team standpoint and a business standpoint, But come on, man. Le'Veon Bell is the best running back in the game, no question. He can catch, he can run, he can make a play, he can do all of it, bro. Top 5 running backs in the NFL today. Top 5, and you want like reasons? I can give you reasons, or I can just give them to you. And what do you think about Zion joining Duke? Duke always recruits. They're that good at recruiting. I think they're not gonna go. I think Duke always goes to March Madness. I think they get a team that wants a Cinderella story, and they get out in the first or second round. But they don't make the Final Four. They don't make the Elite Eight. They might make the Sweet 16, but they're not going very far. And I'm a Duke fan as well, in case you didn't know. So, top 5 running backs in the NFL today. Zeke, in no particular order, by the way. Zeke, Le'Veon, Gurley. It's kind of tough from there, though. You see, it's so hard because you have Zeke, Le'Veon, Gurley, you have Kamara, then you have David Johnson, then you have LaShawn McCoy, then you have Kareem Hunt, you still have Ingram. There's a lot of people, man. But if it's my personal 5, Le'Veon, Gurley, Zeke, Kamara, and Fournette. Those are the top 5 in the business right now. Right now, top 5 in the business. And they will show you next season with their stats. They will. I promise you. I promise. Kamara's going to have another 700 plus 700 catching and rushing. 800 plus 800, I think. Gurley's going to have 1,500 yards. Le'Veon's going to have 1,800. Zeke's going to have 2,000. And Fournette's going to have 1,500 and maybe like, I don't know, 500 passing yards. The NFL is stacked, man. It's a wonderful time to be alive for sports, let me tell you guys. Top 5 quarterbacks. Top 5 quarterbacks coming off of last season, or like coming off of their resume, or like how do you want that? Because I can give it to you on a lot of ways. Because I can give it to you like legacies or championships or just all around talent. Well, let me just give you the 5 top quarterbacks right now. Top 5 quarterbacks last season? All right. Drew Brees, before he got hurt, and I'm emphasizing that this was before he got hurt because we don't know if he's going to be the same person. Well, honestly, he might. It's very hard to tell. It's hard to tell, but Carson Wentz, he might come back the same. So it's Brees, Wentz, Brady. Rodgers got injured, so before you guys go all crazy on me, man, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL for me. The best. But he got hurt, so he's not on this list because he didn't have enough time to shine. Don't get mad at me. Do not get mad at me. So it's Wentz, Brees, Brady. And then from there, you have to put Keenum on there. I put Keenum on there because last season he did the imaginable. And then from Keenum, you probably have to put Big Ben. Those are your top 5 from last season. Do you think Ronaldo would perform the same in Juventus like he did at Real Madrid? So it's a different league. There's a different play style. It's a different coach. It's a different team, obviously, right? But Ronaldo will shine more in Italy than he did at Madrid in Spain for the simple fact that I think Real Madrid is a better team and they play in a better league compared to Juventus, who play in the Italian league. And I don't think that league is as good or as skilled as the Spanish league is. He's gonna score more goals. He's gonna get more attention. He's gonna get more assists because he has Dybala up there to finish. But he's older. He's still fast, but he's slower, and he's not a dribbler anymore. He's a pure goal scorer. I think he ends up winning the Golden Boot this season. I think he ends up winning the Ballon d'Oro because of what he had at Madrid already. And I believe he scores 35 this year and wins the Golden Boot and wins the league and wins the Italian Cup and goes to the Champions League finals. I believe that. No hesitation, I can tell you that. Does Nick Foles deserve his old team? No. Nick Foles is a backup no matter what. No matter what team he goes to. I'm sorry to rain on his parade. He's a very good quarterback. He played the playoffs very well. He played the Super Bowl very well. He played the finishing games very well, but he's not a starting quarterback. He's a good backup, but he does not deserve his own team. Should the Eagles make Nick Foles their starting quarterback? Hell no, man. Hell no. Hell no. Do you guys know who Carson Wentz is, bro? Come on. Have you not seen Carson Wentz? That's a top 5 quarterback right there, man. Hell no, Nick Foles is not a starter. And he's not taking Carson Wentz's spot for all teams. If there's any team he can take a quarterback position from, it was the Browns last season. Or maybe even the Bills this season. Or not the Jets because they picked up Darnold. But it's even the Titans maybe. But no other team in this NFL wants or needs Nick Foles, especially as a starter. Hell no. Top 5 starting 5 in the NBA? Top 5 starting 5? That's an unfair question. Top 5 starting 5? Might as well just say top team of all time, because a starting 5 is nothing without their bench. But I mean, it's probably the 2001 Lakers, sorry. The 2012 Miami Heat. The 94 Chicago Bulls. Or the 85? The 85 Lakers. That's starting 5. Best starting 5. Besides that, there's really no one who comes to mind. You could probably throw the Thunder in there, but James Harden wasn't a starter when he played for the Oklahoma City Thunder. My starting 5, like, of all time? By the way, guys, this is going to be continuous thing. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe, because this will be continual from every Thursday from 5 to 6:30, since you guys wanted it to 6:30. From 5 to 6:30 every Thursday, I will be getting better. I will have more content. I will have less, stuttering. I'll have better quality of the video in general. I'm planning to get my own studio. I'm planning to get a mic. I'm planning to get my notes and everything. So this is only going to get better, guys. Just stick with me. I promise you will not be disappointed by the success that comes with me, bro. You guys are part of the history that is being made. Thank you. I thank you guys a lot for the love and support. Even though it's just the first day, this channel is going to blow up, bro. I can feel it. I know it. 5. Who's starting? All-time starting 5? It's easy. This is something that you just always talk about, so it's just really easy for me to talk about. Magic, Jordan, LeBron. Then I put Duncan, Shaq. No one else. I love Kobe. Kobe's not better than Jordan. Curry's not better than Magic. I love Durant. I used to love Durant. I used to love Vince Carter. I used to love T-Mac. They're not better than LeBron. I love Dirk. I love KG. They're not. I love Malone. I love Barkley. They're not better than Duncan. And Shaq is a monster, bro. No one is stopping Shaq. Nobody. How could you make a case that Kobe is better than LeBron? How could you? I'm a Kobe fan, man. And you can't. Not anymore. LeBron's a tough SOB. In other ways, what? Oh, well, that's different. If you want to know how Kobe's better than LeBron, he's more cold-blooded. Obviously, that's the first thing that comes off of everyone's head. He's a better post scorer. Definitely. He's a better shooter. Pure shooter, I should say. Because statistically speaking, he's not a better shooter. But he's a better pure shooter. He's a better big moment player. I think he has a lower basketball IQ than LeBron in terms of playmaking, though. Because in terms of the overall game, Kobe has a tremendously high basketball IQ, guys. Okay, what about from this era? Like top 5 from this era? Like 2010 era or 2000 era? Because I lived for both of those eras, and the starting 5 is really different from both of those eras. Damn, bro, there's only like 4 people watching. I didn't get anyone else to watch. 2000s? Oh. 2000s, Iverson, Kobe, T-Mac, Duncan, Shaq. A lot of people put AI as a shooting guard. I don't. He's a shooting guard at heart, yeah. Like he wants to be, but he's not a shooting guard. And no one was better than T-Mac. A lot of people said T-Mac was actually better than Kobe. He could have been better than Kobe, a lot of people say. And I believe it. I do. I saw T-Mac play. He's a monster. 2010 era? 2010 era, Curry, Harden, LeBron, AD, and Embiid. Well, not Embiid because it's 2018, but actually, yeah, it's 2018, so Embiid. Yeah, Embiid. Embiid or DeMarcus, one of those two. Probably DeMarcus because he's played more in the 2010 era, but Embiid is just an all-around better player than him. Wow, damn, bro. All right. Will you ever do a reaction video? Like, reaction about what? Obviously, it would have to be sports related, but like, what kind of reaction? All right. $6:23. I think I'm gonna cut it off at 6:30, unless you guys want me to go longer. I can go to 7. I could go to 7, but I won't go longer than 7. But that's only like if you guys really, really want me to. If not, I'll just end it at 6:30 and that'll be it. Odell highlights? Oh yeah, like player highlights? Hell yeah. I'll do that. I just need if you guys want that, I'll tell you what. If you guys want that, let me know on one of my videos. I have 2 videos, I think. And then after this one's done, after I quit the live stream, if it lets you comment, still comment that. Or if not, this is a personal stream, so it's like just for my close friends. So if you guys want to see something like that, you guys text me. If I get enough texts, I'll do something like that. Definitely, man. And if you guys really want that, let me know, like for real, so I can look into it. That way I can get like a face cam / screen recording shit, my bad, stuff going on. And yeah, like if you guys really, really want something like that, I can definitely do something like that. And again, like, I know I said this a couple times already, but I'm really grateful for the support, you guys. I want to do this professionally. Like, you guys really have no idea. I plan to do this professionally, and I know that I can be really good if I do this professionally. And this is just the beginning, man. We have like 7 subscribers right now, and we're gonna blow up to 1,000, and then 10,000, and we're gonna get there, man. We're gonna get there. People are gonna be like, "Wow, he worked hard to get to where he is." And honestly, I want people to do that, man. I want to be able to be known for stuff like that. React to music? No, I don't. I don't react to music. I don't really react to music. Will you have guests on your channel? So the thing about guests is I'm looking to get this thing big enough, and then I'm looking to get internships, and then from my internships I'm looking to get connections and hopefully get some famous people, like not really really famous, not like Kobe or LeBron, but like college players get started, because I'm gonna be in college and they're gonna be in college, and we can like vibe together on a show like this. Or players, like there's soccer coaches that are like really good, but they're not well known because they coach like smaller countries like El Salvador or Guatemala. Or if I get big enough, hopefully I can get those Mexico coaches or some Mexico players, or maybe even MLS players, D League players, stuff like that. I'm hoping to get some stuff like that going, bro. Keeps changing. You have a Q&A with your friends? Well, yeah, man. The chat's always open to you guys. Well, it was only you guys today, but chat's always open for you guys, man. Uh, you should know I love sports. I love talking about them. I love debating them. I'm always right. Just know that first. No, I'm just kidding. But I love stuff like that, man. I love Q&As. I love all of that. It puts me in a good mood. It puts me with happy thoughts. What are your thoughts about the Saints game today? I'm not watching, bro. I'll probably watch right now since the stream is about to end. We're playing the Jags, and the Jags, that's a good team, bro. That's probably the second best team in the AFC. They have a good ass defense. Le'Veon Bell's not bad. Blake Bortles is gonna get better. Our defense is pretty good. This is a good test for our defense. I don't know if Davenport is playing, but I really want to see him play. But if we played them in the season, we're gonna beat them. This preseason, I never worry too much about preseason. It's more about getting a feel for one another. But that was a good question, man. Thanks. I know you know that like I'm a Saints fan, so I appreciate you asking me. We have friends in your stream. Maybe. Okay, so the thing about having you guys on my stream is maybe at the beginning for a bit, but as I progress and as I become more of a big thing, and I get more credentials and I get more exposure and I get more credibility, I probably won't have you guys on the show as much, because I want to have more professional look going, and it's not nothing against you guys. I would love to have you guys on if you guys wanted to be on, especially Eddie, because I love talking about football with Eddie, and I love talking about soccer with like Emma and Emilio, and basketball with you and like Joseph and Frankie. But that would maybe only be at the beginning, especially because it's more for me to take this more as a professional lifestyle, as opposed to like he's not pro, he has friends on, it's just like a little talk show or whatever, and that's not what I'm trying to do this about. But yeah, definitely I would love to have you guys on, only if we can take it serious though. As a Saints fan, are you worried about the Saints without him, without Drew Brees? Is that who you're talking about? Or Marcus Davenport? Oh, Brees. I am, man. I really am. He has 2 more years for me, like, to be an elite quarterback for me. And it's sad, for anyone. Like, take the Cowboys, for example. They lost Witten, man. It's really hard. Or take the Colts when they lost Manning. It's hard to lose especially when it's a legend, man. It's hard to lose a player like that. And there's obviously there's no like replacement for a type of player like that. But it's going to hurt a team a lot. But at the same time, it's going to change the culture of the team. Like for the Cowboys, for example, because I know you're a Cowboys fan. Like I told you before, Witten left, but that's going to open up the run game, and that's going to give Zeke a chance to become even a better player. All right, so it's 6:30, guys. I don't think you guys want me to keep going. We only have like 2 real people that are still asking questions, so I think I'm gonna end it here. I'll end with this last question from Joseph. Are you excited about the Lakers' first matchup with the Warriors? Preseason, no. I'm looking forward to that regular season matchup, the Christmas one specifically. But because LeBron's only gonna play like the first and third quarters of the preseason, but I'm definitely looking forward to all the Warriors and Lakers matchups this season, guys. So time is up, guys. I just want to again, real quick, thank you guys for watching the stream. This is the first stream of many to come. And we're going to get better. Like I said, we're going to get better. We're going to have better quality. We're going to have a mic. We're going to have professional notes here. We're going to have guests. We're going to have all this stuff, bro. So I want to thank you guys, Emilio, Joseph, Eddie, and Emma, for coming out, taking some time out of your day when you didn't have to watch my stream, supporting me. And I'll see you guys next Thursday, hopefully. Thanks, guys.